It was a warm afternoon when I first saw her. I was walking through the park, enjoying the day, when she appeared, as if out of nowhere, like a vision. She was sitting on a bench, her long hair dancing in the breeze, her eyes focused on a book she was reading. I stopped in my tracks, completely mesmerized. Her name, as I would later find out, was Veronica. But at that moment, I didn't know anything about her. All I knew was that she had the most beautiful smile I had ever seen. There was something magical about the way the sunlight hit her face. She seemed to glow, like she belonged in a different world, a world of grace and beauty. I couldn't help but stare, my heart beating faster with every second. My mind was racing, telling me to go talk to her, but my feet were glued to the ground. A part of me wondered if she noticed me, but she was too absorbed in her book. I felt like an invisible spectator, watching a moment that felt surreal. Finally, I gathered the courage to approach her. As I got closer, I felt a strange mix of excitement and nervousness, like I was about to step into something life-changing. "Hey," I said, my voice sounding more awkward than I'd hoped. She looked up, her eyes meeting mine, and that was when I knew I was completely lost. Veronica smiled, and it felt like the world stopped for a second. "Hi," she replied softly. There was a warmth in her voice, something that made me feel instantly comfortable. "What are you reading?" I asked, trying to keep the conversation going. She showed me the cover of her book. It was a classic novel, one I had read before. "I love that book," I said, and her eyes lit up. We started talking about it, and before I knew it, the conversation flowed effortlessly. It felt like we had known each other for years. As we talked, I noticed the little things about her, the way she laughed, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was thinking. Every small detail made me fall harder. Hours passed without either of us realizing. The sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, but I didn't want the moment to end. "Do you come here often?" I asked, hoping for a chance to see her again. She smiled and nodded. "Yeah, it's my favorite place to read." We exchanged numbers before we parted ways, and as I walked away, I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I had met someone special, someone who made everything feel different. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Veronica had left an imprint on my heart, and I knew this wasn't just an ordinary encounter. In the days that followed, we met again and again at the park, our conversations growing deeper. Each time I saw her, I felt that same spark, the feeling of being in love. It was love at first sight, something I never believed in until I met Veronica. From that day on, my life was brighter, all because of her.